Look at this. It's snowing. I can make a snowball. Wow. Hey everybody, David Burns out on a cold winter day. It's actually fall. It's November the 9th, and today it started snowing here in Illinois. 32.5. It's just a hair above freezing right now. And I know, like, look at this, snow on top of the hives and everything. You're probably thinking, wow, what's going on? Snow on the bushes. Oh, well, I'm going to be hustling today. I was at a conference all day yesterday, and I would have done this yesterday when it was not 32 degrees, but I got to take my feeders off today. It's going to get down to 23, about 21 maybe where I live tonight, Fahrenheit. I don't want my jars to get too cold. I'm going to take all my feeder jars off. I'm going to put insulation on the top, more insulation than I have now. It's so cold out here. So you'll get to join me. But I want to tell you about the conference I was at before we do all the work and show you what I'm doing. You're probably freaking out, by the way. You're probably thinking, oh my gosh, my bees are dead. You know, we have just violent wind today. This berm area is a lifesaver because it is so windy out of the north. And I'm getting a lot of windbreak. That's going to help me a lot. But even with all that, you're probably feeling yourself like, I'm not sure if my bees are ready. And this is a wake-up call, isn't it? Because you think, oh no, I can't see my bees surviving, you know, because we can barely survive crazy winter like this. So don't panic. I want to tell you, I'm going to show you some things today that will help you keep your bees in better shape to get through these blasted winter days if you're like me and you live in the north. So stay with me. My lens is going to get covered with snow here in a minute. But yeah, yesterday I was at the Illinois State Beekeepers Association. I spoke there a couple of years ago, and it was great. I really enjoyed being there yesterday. I got to see some old friends. You know, a lot of you know Charles Linder. He's an old friend from way back. He took, I think, maybe his first beekeeping class that I offered here many years ago, and got started in beekeeping. Philip Raines, he's Northern Illinois. These guys are commercial beekeepers, by the way. Nice guys that you could ever be around, and so I enjoy being with them. The speakers one of the speakers was Jerry Hayes. He's the editor for Bee Culture magazine. I write for Bee Culture every month. I have a column in there, and it was nice to see Jerry, you know, in person, hang out, talk to him. And he spoke twice, and he had some good things on his presentations, reading frames, and he talked about the impact of commercial beekeepers, and that was fun to listen to. Another speaker was Crispin Given. Maybe some of you know him at Purdue. He worked for years and years, decades now, with Dr. Greg Hunt over there in the ankle biter bees. They developed a honeybee that can be more mite resistant by injuring the mite's legs and such. And Crispin is still in that work. He and I had a great time talking about bees and queen rearing, and he had some great presentations as well. And another great person I met was Dr. Adam Dozel from the University of Illinois. He has a bee lab at the University of Illinois, and Adam and I got to share lunch together and do a lot of talking. And I really respect Adam and his work. He's a great biologist and entomologist, and I'm looking forward to getting to know him a little bit better and all the work that he's doing. And I'm probably forgetting some people. Pam Carter does an excellent job with the honey judging program, that organization that judges your honey jars all around the country. They travel all around, and it's such a fine ran ship. If you've never got into what happens with honey judging, that it is far more than what you think. And you see these people walking around in the white lab coats and the white hat. That's what I'm talking about. These people are awesome. And Pam does such a great job. It's always great to see her. And another person I always enjoy seeing at the Illinois State meetings is Jane Sumi. She actually lives in Missouri. But Jane became a EAS certified master beekeeper. She was certified last year, actually, just several months ago. And so it's always great to see her and talk to her. She actually runs something called Is a Bees. And what's neat about her, and sorry my lens is getting snow covered, getting blurry probably, but hopefully you can see that and check out her website. But when I was at her booth yesterday, she was sporting these hive tools. You know, I'm going to get out of the scene, so maybe this will focus. But if you look, this is the perfect hive tool. I'm going to show you why I think it's so cool. Don't forget, stay with me. We're gonna get these bees ready for a cold night. So stay with me so you can get yours ready too. But look at this. I love several things about this hive tool. This is going to be my go-to hive tool. Do I need to go get a rag for my lens? It's got the J hook, and it's a thinner J hook, so I won't have to grind that down. Is that focused? And then it's the traditional, what's called the American hive tool. See, it's got the beetle smasher end. It wasn't created for beetle smashers. It was more of a scraper, but now it's evolved to be a small hive beetle smasher. And what's neat, and Jane explained this to me, you know how when you use a J hook, you can actually not damage, but you can make a dent in the frame next to the one you're prying up, because it's just a little small piece that you're prying. But this is a flat piece. I'm excited. I'm pumped and excited. And you get to pry more with this. And the other thing that's really good though is look at this tip. Now, you've seen me in my videos. If you've binge watched my videos, I gripe a lot about this tip and how it's hard to get between boxes, okay? And I've shown you how I grind them way back, because the traditional J hook only is ground down about 1/4 of an inch right there. Look at this one. They've actually tapered it a long way back. And what that does, it allows a thinner tip to go gradually under between two boxes, rather than just boom, abruptly hitting and stopping there. You see what I'm saying? Man, I hope that's in focus. But the one flaw in this hive tool that I'm going to work on, because I'm going to make this my go-to hive tool, is that these edges are too sharp. And so when you hold it, I mean, I have little baby hands, I guess. But if your hands are really tough, it doesn't bother you. But these edges right here, I'm going to take a file and I'm going to smooth off that edge right there, so that when I hold them the whole time I'm working bees, and sometimes if it pinches just right, it's a little too sharp on my hand. So I'm going to just file that down a little bit, take that edge off with a file. But again, look up her website, or if you're in the area where she lives, maybe you can visit her and Jane and see what it's all about. But she carries that hive tool, and there again, I told her I'd give a shout out to her. I bought this, by the way, with my own money. In fact, I was standing at her booth, and it was like $12, but I had a 10% discount for being at the conference, I think. And it was going to be $10.80. I only had a $10 bill on me, and I was like, oh shoot, I've only got, it's $10.80, probably with tax or something. And I've only got like $10. A guy here, he said, oh, I'll cover your 80 cents. And then Rich Hargrove, who I know, a friend, he said, oh, I'll get your 80 cents. But anyway, I bought it with my own money. But I wanted to show you, these hive tools are so important to help us have better inspections. If it's a tool that has all the things in it that we need, I think that's going to make everything so much better. So I'm excited about this hive tool. I brought it home and I showed it to Sherry, and I was like, I got this cool hive tool. And she's like, I think you have one like that. And I'm like, do I? She said, I'm pretty sure you do. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember that, but I'll look around. Maybe I do. But here's the thing. As you kind of evolve as a beekeeper, sometimes, you know, I started off with just the American hive tool, just this and that. It didn't have this on it. And I lived by that forever. Then the J hook came out and I refused to adapt, but then I did. I fell in love with the J hook. And then now I kind of find myself carrying a J hook and the American one, like that has this on it, because I want to smash beetles, I want to scrape. And so maybe I've just evolved back to wanting one that has both. Okay, it's okay. I think that's cool. As you grow and as you kind of change in beekeeping, things will be different from time to time. Well, let's go ahead and jump into a hive. I've got about 20 hives I got to do this to. This is my YouTube studio hives, by the way. I have other hives other places, but this is where my bees are for my YouTube studio. So these hives over here, I need to keep alive so I can make more videos in the spring for you guys. So I'm going to show you, we'll take one hive and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to do it to all of them, but I'm just going to videotape one. So yeah, let's pick this one here and get to work. Snow continues to fall. So what I'm doing right now, it's really not cold enough for my winter be kind yet. We're going to be back in the 60s in about 4 days for high temperatures, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. But I'm going to have 3 days of extremely cold weather, you know, for this time of the year. And so what I have in here now is some insulation, and then I have my jar feeders, and I pulled them off. There's one bee eating. So it's too cold for them to be up here eating the jars, right? So let me show you how I'm going to deal with this next 4 days. Let me get the camera a tad closer so you can see what I'm working on here. Ooh, yeah, this is good. All right, I want to ask you a question too. Do you know what that damage is on the wall over there? Those of you that are new to beekeeping may have never seen that. That's wax moth damage, okay? But here is the box. There's no bees this high up because they're clustered down below. So they're not eating the liquid jars. It's 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So what I've done, I've taken this insulation. You can see how thick it is here. And I'm going to put it in here. Ooh, it fits so good. Look at that. So I'm putting that insulation that I wrap my hives in, and I'm going to wrap this hive. And water's dripping off my camera. That's probably not good. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this insulation back in there because I'm going to need it next time I start feeding again. That'll help a little bit. So now I've insulated the top. So I've got insulation, board. I've got this little bit of bad insulation. It helps a little bit, kind of absorb the space. There you go. And then I'm going to put the top on, look at that, and a rock. So now everything is going to be tidy for the next cold days. And then I'm going to take these and put them inside. And they're kind of cold actually, but I don't want them to get too cold. I'm going to take them inside and they'll be okay. I might even put them in the refrigerator to keep them from spoiling or something. Even if you're not feeding them, that top insulation I think is really what really works the best on insulating your bees against cold winds. But it is extremely windy out of the north. And right now this was a great wind break for me. My other hives over there have a great wind break from my northwest winter winds. So be thinking about that. Don't panic. That's what I want you to know. As we get into this video, I don't want you to panic just because it's cold. Because look, your bees are capable of getting through a cold blast as long as you've done your stuff in the summer, like keep healthy bees. You got a good queen in there. Mites are low. Got plenty of food on board. Don't sit there and worry yourself to death just because, you know, there's snow on top of your beehives this soon. Your bees should make it. You want to start worrying about your bees January, February, and March. That's when the bees start starving out and they don't have enough things on board to get fed well. And it's also a time when the mite loads the viruses are so bad in the hive because they're kind of congested being inside. I mean, they're just like inside and they're, you know, they don't get to defecate. They could get all kind of gut problems from not being able to go potty outside. They could have nosema spores, microsporidians and all that, but don't panic. Let's hold the course for now, even though it's cold. It's going to get colder. Let's hold the course. Let's do some things like I showed you. Do some good insulation on top, around the edges if you want to. I'll be doing that too. So I got a lot of work to do today, and I'm getting ready to speak in Pennsylvania. Flying out this Thursday. Hopefully my flight won't be canceled or delayed because of all the airport hassles that's going on now with government shutdown. They've canceled a lot of flights now. And then the next week I'm flying down. I'm only home for 2 days and I fly down to Texas. I speak down there. So I hope to see some of you at my next speaking engagements. I really hope you'll be there, support these conferences, and be glad to have lunch with you or something, talk with you. Support your local bee club, like the Illinois State Beekeepers Association that I'm a member of. I hope that you'll support your local state club. And those of you that are in Illinois, be a part of ISBA, it's called, and support them. They bring in a lot of good speakers. I had a ball there. I can't tell you. The lunch was great and everything. So support your local bee club. Now I've got 2 great videos for you to watch. One of them is moving hives, like in the fall, like I did. It's fine to move them now. It's a good time of the year to move them, get them out of the wind. And the other one is about beekeeping tools, like this one that I showed you from Jane. That's really cool. Hive tool. I got a whole video on tools you'll need when you get back into beekeeping in the spring. So watch these 2 videos. I'll see you guys over there.